Hey, how's it going? I hope you're having a good day. So, something really important is happening today that a lot of people don't know about yet, and it could affect your Social Security, SSI, or SSDI payment. Yep, we're talking about that 1,330 plus in February payment. Now, before you scroll away or think, oh, not another boring update, stick with me for a few minutes, because this could actually make a big difference in your wallet. And trust me, you'll want to hear the full details before the month moves on. Here's the thing. A lot of people get confused about when their payments arrive, why the amount might change, or even if they qualify for certain boosts. You know, the kind of stuff that makes you sit there and go, wait, did I miss something? And if you're relying on this money to pay bills, groceries, or rent, that confusion can turn into stress really fast. I'm going to break it down in a way that's super simple, so even if you've never checked SSA.gov or IRS.gov, you'll still understand exactly what's going on. But first, let me explain why today is so important. The Social Security Administration has confirmed that the February payments are officially taking effect today. That means some people could see the money in their accounts either today or very soon, depending on their bank processing times. And here's where it gets tricky. Not everyone gets it on the same day. For example, if you're on SSDI, the deposit schedule can vary based on your birthday. SSA.gov has the exact dates listed, so if you're unsure, you can double-check there. This is super important because missing the date even by a few days can make people panic, and nobody wants that kind of stress. Now, let's talk about the amount, the 1,330 plus. You might be thinking, why the plus? Well, the truth is, your exact payment could be a little more or less depending on your personal situation. Some people get extra if they're eligible for cost of living adjustments, others might have deductions for things like Medicare premiums. Basically, the number you see online is kind of a baseline, but your actual check could be slightly different. And that's why I always say it's a good idea to log into your My Social Security account on SSA.gov to see the exact figure. Don't worry, it's free, secure, and gives you peace of mind. Here's something that surprises a lot of people. Some folks think Social Security payments are delayed, or that they have to wait until the end of the month no matter what. That's not true. SSA actually has a system where payments are staggered to avoid overwhelming banks. So, if your birthday falls early in the month, you could see your money deposited sooner than someone whose birthday is later. Confusing? Totally. But understanding this little trick can stop a lot of headaches and even save you from worrying that something went wrong. Okay, so now that you know the date and approximate amount, let's talk about why this update matters right now. You see, when SSA announces new payments or adjustments, it usually comes with some official notices, like changes in SSI or SSDI eligibility thresholds. That's why today's update is not just about the cash hitting your account. It's about making sure you don't miss any extra benefits you could get. And honestly, missing a few $100s because you didn't check the official site would be frustrating, right? So hang tight, because I'll show you how to avoid that mistake in just a second. First, let's clear up a common mix-up. Some people assume that Social Security, SSI, and SSDI all work the same way. They don't. SSI is income-based, meaning if you have very little money or resources, you might qualify. SSDI, on the other hand, is based on your work history and contributions to Social Security, so even though the payment might look similar, the rules behind who gets what are very different, and that's why it's so important to check SSA.gov for your specific program. Don't just trust rumors or friends because a small difference could cost you money. And here's a tip I always give. Set up direct deposit if you haven't already. It's way faster, more secure, and it can get your payment on the first day it's released. You can do this through SSA.gov, and it only takes a few minutes. I promise it's worth it. Waiting for a paper check in the mail can be stressful, especially if you're counting on this money for bills or groceries. But even with direct deposit, it's still smart to check the official site, because sometimes amounts change due to things like tax withholdings or Medicare premiums. Speaking of taxes, some of you might be wondering, do I need to pay taxes on this money? Well, it depends. Social Security payments are partially taxable if your total income exceeds certain limits. The IRS.gov site has a simple calculator you can use to see if you owe anything. And yes, I know taxes are confusing, but this is really just about making sure you don't get surprised next year when you file. So if you want to be safe, take 5 minutes today and check IRS.gov. It's free, accurate, and it gives you peace of mind. Here's another thing that can throw people off. Sometimes your payment looks smaller than expected. Don't panic. Often, that's because of Medicare Part B premiums or other deductions taken out before the money hits your account. SSA.gov actually explains this in detail with examples, so you can see exactly why your number is what it is. Once you understand it, it's a huge relief because suddenly the math makes sense and you're not left guessing. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, wait, what about extra COVID relief or cost of living adjustments? Yes, that's a good question. While COVID-specific payments have mostly ended, SSA does still adjust payments annually for cost of living increases. This is something that can push your payment above that $1,330 mark. So even though today's payment might be the base, keep in mind you could get a little extra later this year. And again, SSA.gov will always have the official numbers. I know some of you are thinking, okay, this is all fine, but what if my payment doesn't arrive? First, don't panic. Most of the time, it's just a bank processing issue. But if it's really delayed, SSA.gov has a reporting tool where you can check your payment status and even contact someone for help. And yes, it might feel like a hassle, but it's better than guessing or calling random numbers that aren't official. Trust me, knowing exactly where your money is can save you hours of stress. And here's a little insider tip. Some people don't realize they can estimate their upcoming payments on SSA.gov before they even arrive. There's a tool that lets you enter your info and see what to expect each month. This is perfect if you're planning your budget, paying rent, or trying to figure out how much to set aside for groceries. It's like having a sneak peek into your own finances, and who doesn't want that? So far, we've covered the date, the amount, why some payments are different, the tax side, and how to check for delays. But there's one more thing that's really important for this February payment: benefits for dependents or spouses. Yes, if you have a spouse, child, or disabled family member who qualifies, your payment could actually be higher than the base $1,330. This is something that surprises a lot of people because they assume Social Security is just one number for everyone. But no, the system accounts for family situations. And that's why checking SSA.gov for your personal case is so crucial. Here's something else that trips people up. Sometimes people get letters or notices from SSA about changes in their benefits. It can look confusing, and some just ignore it. Big mistake. Those letters often contain info about payment changes, eligibility updates, or things you need to act on to avoid losing benefits. So even if you feel like it's just bureaucracy mumbo-jumbo, opening that letter and checking SSA.gov for clarification could save you hundreds of dollars. And let's be honest, money stress is real. A lot of people live paycheck to paycheck or rely heavily on Social Security, SSI, or SSDI. Seeing that payment hit your account can feel like a huge relief. But it's not just about the money landing. It's about understanding exactly what you're entitled to, avoiding mistakes, and making your life easier. That's why staying informed is so important, and checking SSA.gov and IRS.gov regularly is the smartest move. I'm also working on a full video about planning for 2026 Social Security updates, and you'll see it right after this one on the end screen. That video will cover everything from cost of living adjustments to potential new rules that could affect your payments. So if you want to stay ahead, make sure you don't miss it. But for now, let's finish today's update so you're fully prepared for your February payment. Before I let you go, a few quick reminders. Check your exact payment on SSA.gov. Don't guess. Set up direct deposit if you haven't yet. It's way faster. Use the IRS.gov calculator if you want to know how taxes might affect your payment. If your payment seems off, report it through SSA.gov instead of panicking. And finally, consider family or dependent benefits. Your total could be higher than expected. I hope this clears up a lot of confusion and gives you confidence that your February payment is coming, and that you know exactly what to expect. Which city are you watching from? Comment below. I love seeing where everyone is tuning in from. And if this helped you, hit the like button. It really helps me keep making these clear and simple updates. For full details, I've added the official links in the video description. You can visit ssa.gov and irs.gov yourself and verify the information. It's always better to check the source so you know you're getting accurate numbers. And here's a little teaser for you. In my next video, I'm going to break down how to maximize your Social Security benefits in 2026 and cover some strategies most people don't even know about. You won't want to miss it because it could mean more money in your pocket next year. All right, that's it for today's update. Remember, your payment is on its way, your benefits matter, and a few minutes on ssa.gov and irs.gov can save you a lot of headaches. Stay informed, stay calm, and I'll see you in the next video.